Plan Dutch with us. You are?
I'm Shiba and this is it.
Naomi.
Yes. And today I want to ask Naomi her experience in, as they say, to give the picture out for those people who don't understand the life of asylum seeker.
As I say, is
Yes.
asielzoekerscentrum.
Mhm.
For those who don't understand. So go on.
Yep. So Naomi, give us your story. What is your life the moment you entered the as I say? How does it look like? Can you help us to picture the life in as I say?
Yes. When you arrive in the AZC, first of all, you get a paper where there is your name, your date of birth, the location you are. There is a lot of AZCs in the Netherlands.
So where did you reach as the first time?
I started my procedure in Ter Apel.
Mhm.
That's the receiving center, the receiving asylum center in the Netherlands. And there I got that paper, which has all my information. And that paper I show everywhere I go, in each office that I go in. And that is supposed to act as your ID.
How does Ter Apel look like?
Yeah, it's like a camping center with a lot of houses. They look like container houses, but they're actually houses, temporary houses, with COA offices and VVN offices. There is an immunization place where they go and take your, is it TB? Tuberculosis prick. There is a food center where you go and get your meal every day. I don't know if things change these days. Yeah. There is, of course, a lot of nationalities, everyone coming from all over the world to come to seek asylum.
Okay, and how was the sleeping?
When I arrived in the evening, so around 8 o'clock. They gave me a room number, a house number, and in that house I found two other Ugandans, which was great for me because I could speak in my own language and we could understand each other, and we told each other stories of back home, so it felt like home.
Okay, so and what happened after?
Yeah, a few moments later, the COA will come and read to you the rules of the house and tell you what your life is going to actually look like from that moment, where you can get your meals, when you get a letter for your appointment, where you have to go, and so on. So that night, you get a bed, you share a room with either one person or two people, and you sleep if you can. The next day, that's where your life begins, because then you have to go for the tuberculosis immunization. If you have an appointment with your lawyer, you get a letter about that. If you have a lawyer before you go through the system, you will have contact with him. But if you don't, the Dutch government will also offer you an asylum seeking lawyer.
Okay, so you've got a lawyer, you passed through the system. So where did you end up? Like, what was your last destination?
So, of course, in those days, some people take months or days. It differs with everyone's procedure. But for me, it took me 3 days in that place, in Ter Apel. And then I was transferred to Dordrecht, to an official camp where you can stay longer. The other one is a receiving center, but in another camp where I could stay longer. And yeah, it was a long drive, I should say. No internet on your phone, so you just watching the road as you go. And we arrived. They gave us a money card, and on that money card there is like 57 euros, which you have to use for everything that you need in a week, for transportation, food, to buy something that you need, like clothes or whatever. They will assign you to a room, to a house, and in that house there were 3 rooms, and each room had 2 people. So I shared a room with someone else, an African woman, but I think she came from Congo. And the other rooms, there were 4 Eritreans, so we are 6 of us. And in that house, you have like a living room, a kitchen, a toilet, and a bathroom. And in the kitchen, there is this tiny one-person fridge that you have to share with 6 other people or 5 other people. And in your room, there is 2 beds and a small cast that you also have to share with both of you. You get a padlock that you put on your cast, and yeah, you start living. So you share the kitchen and the living room, but also imagine a living room with one tiny small TV with 3 different nationalities where you all want to watch something else. You don't have internet yet, so you can't be on your phone. So it is boring and you don't know what to do with your time, even though you have a lot of time.
Okay, and is the life in Azese, was it safe?
For me, it was, I should say. I did not face any, I didn't feel unsafe, but that's also because not everyone knew why you were there. You all come there with a problem, so you're all seeking for safety. So you kind of feel like you are all the same. So I felt kind of safe, but now that I look back, I think it was because no one knew why I was there. Everyone just did their thing.
Okay, so then when I want to come back to come to something like people say that you people you just come in here, you get rooms, get money like you said, and you do nothing. You start moving in the city, stealing things, for example, make the city unsafe for some people. So tell us, what are you allowed to work? Were you allowed to work in Azese? Because you have a lot of time.
No. After a few weeks, if not a few days, you will get an ID, and on that ID, it's mentioned that you're not supposed to work. So when you go somewhere to look for a job, for example, in the supermarket or a clothing shop or on the farms or whatever, someone will ask for your ID card, and they, of course, you don't know because you don't speak the language. But when you give someone your ID, they will read that you're not allowed to work. And I faced the same thing. I went to ask for a job at the McDonald's, and they were very excited. Someone wants to work, whatever. And then I pulled out my ID, and he smiled at me and said, "Yeah, here it says you cannot work. You cannot work earning money. You can do voluntary work. That's something else. You can volunteer anywhere, but you can't work while getting paid." Yeah, that was my first disappointment. Okay. So it is not that I did not want to work, but the system blocked me from working.
So to clear the air, you did want to give back to the community,
Exactly.
but the community, the law didn't allow you to do anything.
Exactly.
So that means it took some time, and that means if for someone else they stay in, as I say, for years, they don't work, they don't go to school. All they do is get that 57 euros, clean their rooms, and sleep for that time.
Yeah.
What do you think it can make your mind be like? What does it? How does it feel?
You already come with your problems, so you're already sitting in that cycle. You already have that cycle burden, and then you come here, instead of getting things to block your mind, like working, going to school, and doing all those things that should benefit your cycle burden. You are sitting in your room all day. If you have a radio, yeah, you can listen to music. If you have internet, you can be on your phone, but you're sitting in your room all day. And we all know that it's not healthy for your mind to have nothing to do.
Mostly for the healthy young women.
Yeah, healthy young people. It's not healthy. And it's not, I was 19 by then, but imagine a young child. Well, children can go to school, but someone, younger, teenager, someone that,
if you're 18 and above,
yeah, you don't have a life. You're only waiting and waiting. You don't know actually what tomorrow will look like. You don't know if they will come for you and take you to another asylum center. You don't know. You're just sitting in a box and you're just waiting. It is not okay.
And that was then, but now I think the system changed.
Yeah, now
lucky new people that you can come here and work. And okay, I know we don't come here to work, because when you say that, some people
think
they'll
you came
say
for money.
exactly.
But it's part of life.
It's part of life to work, to keep your body active, your head full. So yeah, that's what I wanted to let people know, how the life was in, as I say, for someone. You don't choose not to work.
No.
And
The
you don't
system
get a
blocks
whole
you.
house. You share everything.
Yeah.
And I think also, yeah, that is what it was for me as well.
Yeah. Of course, if you would need to know more information about life in the SSA, comment down below, ask questions.
Or say anything you feel like you think it is, and maybe we can picture it out.
Yeah, share, fellow refugees, share your experiences. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay.